Monthly basics have become expensive, consumer spending is tame, and salaries are shrinking in the face of rising inflation.
We're using a credit cards for monthly necessities like groceries. It's a crutch for many households.
Families are supplementing their income with loans, credit cards, and overdrafts. It's a monthly cycle that doesn't end, sinking many homes into debt.
Oh my goodness, we had credit cards and accounts, clothing accounts. Oh, yes, we used to buy our food on credits too.
YouTuber and content creator 𝗶𝗵𝗶𝘀 built her middle-class lifestyle on credit. Newly married and renting an apartment in the suburbs, she was a student and her husband worked full-time. They were moving up in life. A call offering him vehicle finance came at the right time. A new car seemed a perfect purchase.
He told me that, look, they say I qualify for this, but then in my range, they said I also qualify for this. Then I was like, why would you go
Small.
when we can go big? Yes.
At what point did you start realizing we actually can't afford this luxury car that we've bought?
When we couldn't even maintain our own monthly lifestyle that we used to live on, we liked eating out. That became a struggle. Buying groceries at the shopping mall, it would be like, we just get basics. I can't have guests over anymore because there's nothing in the cupboards.
Living beyond their means and an additional debit order for a car they couldn't afford. The young couple was now struggling to make ends meet. In trying to undo the financial damage and ease their stress, her husband took the car back to the dealership.
I was at school one day and he took the car back. I lost my mind. I couldn't believe it. I went to the parking lot like 7 times to check that the car is literally gone.
But there were still outstanding payments, and now with a baby on the way, something had to give.
So we literally had to move back home to a back room at his parents' house.
𝗶𝗵𝗶𝘀 and her husband were drowning in debt. Desperation pushed them to loan sharks, also known as mashonisa, to borrow money to see them through the month.
What's worse than the credit card at the bank or mashonisa?
I would rather go to the bank. I would rather go to the bank. At least with the bank, sometimes you can explain that this month, hey, there's no, at mashonisa, there's no, bring your ID, sissy. Bring your ID. They'll take your ID, they'll keep your bank cards. They'll knock at your door every other day. Keep your cell phone if they have to sometimes. Yes.
Sometimes you earn 10,000 rand, but when your costs, they are 15,000. So you need to balance the figure. So that's when you come to me.
This man is one of Soweto's infamous loan sharks. We're not using his full name for legal reasons. Mkhunu is shrewd and sharp. He counts professionals and businessmen as his clients.
They're desperate, but some, it's a norm now to them, which is my regular client. So a person like that is helping me to run the business, and I'm helping the person to go forward.
It's an unregulated and unregistered business. It's not known how many people have found themselves trapped in the jaws of a loan shark. However, with over 700,000 South Africans currently under debt review, it's an indication that consumers are regularly skipping payments on their bills and many lives are built on credit. 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀 is the founder of Debt Rescue. He helps create a financial lifeline for clients drowning in debt.
75% of households spends the majority of their income on repaying debt. Even before COVID, almost half of all credit-active consumers were over-indebted, meaning that they were in arrears with at least 3 payments on one of their accounts.
Salaries are paying off debt, leaving households with little to see them through the month. South Africa's borrowing culture continues to grow. Even supermarkets are selling groceries on credit.
Desperate consumer will take that credit initially, maybe because it's easy.
David O'Brien is the managing director at 𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀, a debt counseling firm in Cape Town.
Ultimately, that debt builds up. And if you're not settling your debt, then you're effectively paying an extra 28% interest on your bananas. and that's not good.
That's easily 10 Rand extra on a kilogram of bananas.
Can you at least pay 50% of the outstanding balance?
Well, the reason for my call today is to arrange for a settlement on this account.
You didn't get paid. So we've been trying to get hold of you on this number.
𝗶𝗶𝗴𝗶𝗵 knows these statistics only too well. He runs MRT collections. Each agent at his debt collecting firm makes on average 80 phone calls per day, tracking down consumers in arrears on their bills.
People tend to postpone the call me back later, call me back tonight.
What type of debts are we chasing here?
Retail, home loans, vehicle finance, municipal accounts are growing day by day as well. We're not here to harass you. We're here to assist you. We're trying to assist you to repay back the loan where you're getting charged every single month interest. You're getting charged every single call we make. You're getting charged for SMSs. You're getting charged for letters that we're sending you on a monthly basis.
Do not wait until things go pear-shaped or when you start getting those debtors collectors calls to do something about it.
𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗶𝗀𝗃 is a financial planner with a clientele in Joburg's northern suburbs.
So if you do not have an asset backing your loan, the interest rates are going to be high, which is why your store loans are probably the most expensive. You'll find that your personal loans equally expensive. Your credit cards are expensive, but your motor vehicle loans and your mortgages would tend to be the cheapest debt you could ever have.
Meaning loans for houses and cars are cheaper in monthly interest rate fees.
So I find individuals that will say, I want to kill off my bond. No, honey. Start with the personal loan because that's what's costing you the most on a month-to-month basis.
But not even valuable financial advice is enough to rescue some people from their debt spiral.
This year's interest rate hikes have been biting. Now, whilst the formal sector's interest costs are regulated, unregistered lenders like loan sharks have carte blanche on the interest they charge you.
Over the years, 𝗀𝗶𝗀𝗃 has devised his own affordability scale. Small loans are repaid at 30% interest rate, but amounts over 10,000 Rand return with 50% interest.
50% is steep, I know, but I check first that how much do you earn and what are your responsibilities. If I borrow a nurse or I borrow a teacher, if I'm going to make this, I'm going to put this percentage, how much is that person earning? You mustn't overcharge. So you're making a relationship with them because they need you, you need them.
Desperate clients like 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗃 overlook the exorbitant interest and the shameless tactics when they need cash. For 𝗀𝗶𝗀𝗃, it's a necessary evil, holding on to clients' IDs and sometimes appliances as collateral in case he doesn't get his money back.
I take your things if you're a first client, because there can be a flight risk. Things that have took like fridges, stoves, it's a lot. Sound systems, TVs.
It's unscrupulous and illegal.
That unfortunately just makes everything worse because what the National Credit Act does is making sure that credit providers does not give out reckless loans and reckless credit. So they must make sure that people can afford to pay back those loans. But unfortunately, that's not always the case with loan sharks.
And with the country's economic forecast looking gloomy, experts are warning consumers to save for a rainy day, to cushion against looming hard times and being vulnerable to cunning loan sharks.
We're going to face inflation for the next couple of years. People should start tightening their belts now, trying to create some free air between what they earn and what they spend every month, and maybe take that little extra and put it away in an emergency savings fund.
Assessing your bank statement and budgeting is a moment of reckoning with your spending habits. Financial advisors say that it's the first step in getting ourselves out of money troubles.
It is the best advice you could ever get outside of eating your vegetables, all right? A budget is a money management exercise that helps you to ascertain how much money is coming in and how much money is leaving. You can then manage it much better.
So where are you now with your husband in terms of your financial health?
It was a blessing in disguise moving back home because after paying the debts and then we stopped going to 𝗀𝗵𝗶𝗀𝗃 car, we drive, You afford for this one. We want the one underneath that one. That's what we drive now. And we are happy. We are happy.
It's a priceless feeling, debt-free at a time when many families are getting by on credit.